On episode 7, we have a musical quick list, we discuss our favorite female heroes, we compile our lists of must-play games for new gamers, and I hit Connor with some trivia. My name is Brian, and you're listening to Dragon Power.
You good?
Yeah, this microphone thing is not being a friend.
Yeah.
I could not sing the theme to the Golden Girls to my microphone.
I can't even, I know what it is.
The very first line is, "Thank you for being a friend."
Because my sister used to watch it all the time, and I can't remember.
Really?
I remember all the lyrics. I don't know, what the melody or anything is to it.
Dude, I love old souls and young people. Like when younger people are like, "I'm going to watch Golden Girls. Thank you for being a friend."
My sister's like, it's more my sister's friends, and my sister was like, "Maybe I should watch this." And she's like, "I don't like this."
Golden Girls wasn't a bad show.
Yeah, no, it's not. It
was fun.
Yeah. Hair in my mouth.
Gross.
That's what happens when you have long hair.
That's right, because you're a rock star.
I have long hair, everybody. Everyone's like, cut your hair, get a job.
Yeah.
Joke's on you, I have a job.
You look like a hobo.
Thanks.
That's not true.
It's okay.
You seriously look like a straight up hobo.
My manager yesterday told me I look grungy.
Really?
You get like a Kurt Cobain look going on. I was like, thanks.
Are you angsty?
Like, no. I'm super nice. And they're just like...
Are you just like...
mad at the world?
Yeah, like,
no.
Screw the establishment, man.
I mean, I work at a restaurant. I mean, it's like...
Oh. So you work at an establishment.
So I work at an establishment, and... I don't know. I never got that, because it's like, if you're a musician who's anti-establishment and you go to anywhere that, to record your songs, that's an establishment.
Yeah.
It's like...
Absolutely.
So it's like, are you just going to be a garage band?
I will go to this establishment to fight the establishment.
Although I guess nowadays you totally could do that. You could just be a garage band.
That's true.
With, the powers of the internet.
Technology. That's a word, right? Perfect.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a good note to start on.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, guys. Welcome to a kind of laid-back episode. Just kidding. It's going to be hype.
No, it's going to be so hype. We're going to be, doing cartwheels while we're recording and stuff.
And we'll be like, what?
Whoa.
Hey,
Connor, get down from the ceiling, dude. What are you doing? Anyway, yeah, today should be fun.
Yeah.
We've got some... I'm really excited about this segment today.
Get some good stuff going on.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this all week, so we got some good stuff. However, we are not there yet.
No.
So let us start with what we always start with. Connor, what have you done this week?
So, I was boring this week. I didn't do much, actually.
Did you just say you were born this week?
Yeah.
Oh, you were boring this week.
What? No, I wasn't born. I wasn't born yesterday, Brian.
I was born Monday.
But no, I just kind of... Sometimes what it is. Oh, I beat Fallout 4. I think I said that last week, but I beat it again. So
wait, I'm sorry. You went through it all the way?
I went through it all the way again.
Weird.
I sided with the Brotherhood, and I was like, I want to be like a racist synth, anti-abomination dude.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I hate the Brotherhood in that game.
They actually, dude, they give you a really interesting choice later in the game that you're like, oh. So it's like...
Yeah, I still haven't beaten it a first time. I still haven't fired it up.
Yeah.
In 2.5 months or so.
It's super good. I really just... Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's all right.
But I just super was like... Because I went through that phase where I just did nothing but play Fallout, and then I just dropped off and did nothing but not play Fallout, and then I'm back just playing Fallout all the time, and it's just weird. I don't know. Well,
maybe I'll loop back around and get back into the Fallout swing of things. Who knows?
And then I made another character who's just melee-based, and that's really fun. I've never gone through a Fallout game which is melee.
I tried to do that when I first started playing the game. I started making a secondary character that was melee-based, but I didn't like how weak I was in the beginning, so I was like, I just want to do shoot bangs for now.
It's hard.
It is.
Yeah. I play a normal and I crank it down to easy. Don't tell anybody.
No.
Oh, wait. We're on the internet.
Oh, no.
It's too late.
Nah, you're a
fraud. Yeah, other than
fraud.
that, I just really played Smash, and as always, and Fallout, and I was just boring this week. I didn't do much.
All good.
I had to work a lot, and it sucked.
Yeah. Working is always time-consuming.
Yeah.
I worked a bunch this week. It was a pretty intense week at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty heavy workload. We got some goings-ons there that's causing some some more stuff to come down the pipeline than usual. So,
Okay.
however, I'm gonna go ahead and say the highlight of my week happened last night. I tried the Division beta, and it was awesome.
I unfortunately did not. Brian? Sorry, I'm hijacking your segment.
It's okay.
But Brian told me to preload it, and I did it, and then I worked a double yesterday, and I was like,
It's really fun. I can already tell it's going to be in depth. There's the RPG elements that I saw. I haven't gotten very far into it. It's more of an RPG than it is a shooter.
Okay.
They even say that in the beginning. There's like a little tutorial message from one of the developers, and he walks you through some of the main core elements of the game.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. I can tell that it's going to be a game that is going to consume a lot of time for the people who get truly like invested into it. So I'm excited. I'm not sure if it's going to still be a day one buy for me. I want to play the beta a little bit more, but from what I played yesterday, it was a blast. The gunplay is amazing. The controls feel really good. Collecting loot is amazing.
Okay.
It was fun. I really liked it.
That actually, I'm a huge Tom Clancy fan. Like, I love Splinter Cell and Ghost Recon, and that piqued my interest. I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know, like...
You say piked?
Piked.
It's peaked.
Peaked, whatever. I say episodes or episodes.
Episodes.
Like the whole concept was like, oh, it's zombies, but it's like it's Tom Clancy, so I was like, it's like the Kojima thing for me. If it's made by Kojima, I'll play it. If it's made by Tom Clancy, I'll most likely play it.
Zombies?
It's like some kind of infected, isn't it? Oh, it's not.
No,
it's just the fall of civilization.
It's just fall of civilization.
That's
there may be zombies, but from what I've seen, there are no zombies. It's all humans versus humans, and it's all multiplayer and stuff. Like, you create your own crew, and you go through the city and you do missions and all this stuff, and you can run into other people's actual crews, and you can either work together or you can be like, we don't like you, blah 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 blah.
Okay, because that's way more interesting than zombies plus humans. I mean, if it's just humans, it's like, dude, these should require you to have a mic to play that game.
Oh no, it's awesome.
Because you'd be like, oh, what are you doing? Like, you stand down, point your guns at each other. But like,
I think that I'm not. I mean, don't quote me, but I think that might be a feature. I know for a fact that because I will pick it up. It might not be day one, but I mean, if I play more and I end up really liking it, it'll probably be day one. But I really liked what I played so far, and I know that I'll be trying to get some people to like join a crew and go around and do some stuff. So
definitely hang out with you and do
sweet.
that.
Yeah, that'd be fun, man.
Because
I want you to try it. Actually, as a matter of fact, after we're done recording, I'll fire it up so you can see it.
Okay, because like I'm huge into Brian. You guys know I like restrictions, and like survival games are really hype for me. So it's like, okay, I'll do it. So yeah, that looks really cool. Welcome to the Division cast.
The Division.
Episode,
Anyway, that's
7.
basically. Dude, my week was just so stressful from work. When I got home, I would just fire up Netflix and then go to sleep,
out,
and then and then wake up and go back to work. So I'm really pumped for this weekend. We've got a game night party tonight, so I'm real excited about that. Should be fun. We're gonna do a Crazy Taxi tournament and a Nidhogg tournament,
and then whatever other games we want to play.
Yeah. It'll be great. I'm sure people will want to play Mortal Kombat X per usual. I mean, that's
of course
one thing, especially our friend Brendan. He's like, dude, MKX, let's do it.
I've been slacking off. I've been playing.
I haven't.
I know.
But so that's my week, man.
Okay. Well,
so cool.
Let's hop right in.
So we are going to go straight into our quick list this week.
Quick.
There it was.
He looked at me and stopped, and I was like, he knows it's coming.
I can't move on if it doesn't happen. So the quick list this week was actually suggested by Connor.
Yeah.
It's our favorite gaming soundtracks. So not necessarily like a single song, but like a soundtrack to an entire game. So let's see. I'll go ahead and fire off my quick list.
Yeah.
Number 5, I have DuckTales for the NES.
Oh, okay.
That game has some amazing music, and when they did the remaster, and the guy they hired to do he basically redid all the game music. He did all the songs justice. Sounds awesome.
That's awesome.
I put Guilty Gear X2 Sharp Reload.
Oh, okay.
For the original Xbox and PlayStation 2, and I'm sure it's on some other consoles and stuff. I had it on the original Xbox.
Yeah. It's probably an arcade cabinet.
Yeah, it was an arcade. That game has just some of the most intense amazing music to fight to. I mean, that goes across pretty much all the Guilty Gear
Oh,
games, though.
Well, the dude who made it was in like a butt rock band.
Yeah,
so it's like it has to be awesome.
He fully understands what it means to be epic while fighting. Okay, number 3, Street Fighter 2.
Okay, good.
Every stage has like some very unique music. I mean, Ken obviously has one of the best songs ever. Guile has one of the best songs ever. So yeah, I mean, I love that game. The music is just as big a part of my childhood as the actual gameplay itself. So
Okay.
Number 2, I put Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
I still to this day will hum or whistle certain Final Fantasy VII songs when I'm just like walking around.
I was doing that before the podcast, actually. It's like ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
But yeah, I love that game. It's amazing, and the songs are awesome. And then number 1, I put Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Unstoppable.
I can dig that.
Just so good.
Dude, aquatic ambience.
Aquatic ambience. The final fight with King K. Rool.
Gangplank Galleon.
Yeah, Gangplank Galleon. Just, I don't know, man. That's the music gives that game such a unique, like, feel to it, and I guess ambience to it. It's awesome. I don't think any other game soundtrack is ever going to top that for me.
That game is so much ahead of its time.
Agreed.
Like with all like the 3D rendered graphics
Yeah.
and the music, it's like that game is.
The game was mind-blowing when it came out. It's still awesome.
It's
like
amazing.
I still fire it up on my CRT TV, and I'm just like, gosh, this game is so good looking.
I had it on Game Boy.
That's awesome.
Like all these old Super Nintendo games that you played, I like when they get re-released on Game Boy. That's where I played them. Like so that's where I played Mario World and like
there you go.
Metroid. Like
Okay.
it's all there.
Yeah,
it's
that's
hype.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, what's your
That was
list,
a good
bro?
list, Brian.
Hey, thanks, man.
So bringing up the pack at the bottom, so you know this is gonna be a ridiculous list. Is Zelda.
So
Zelda is in the same category as Final Fantasy for me,
okay.
where it's like specifically like Ocarina of Time. If I had to pick one, but like they kind of share stuff across all. But it's like, dude, Gerudo Valley and like all these songs are just like.
So you're just saying the Zelda franchise?
Well, I'm just saying the franchise. But if you had to make me narrow down to one, I'd say Ocarina of Time.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's just amazing.
So that's number 5 for you.
That's number 5. So
Wow.
I got some more.
Uh-oh.
That's the only one that's really like orchestral or whatever.
Okay,
So
sure.
the rest of these are just like my musical taste. So coming next, we have Metal Gear Rising.
Okay. Yeah, I've actually heard a bunch of people talk about how good the music is in that game. So.
I had a dude show me the soundtrack before I even knew about the game.
Okay.
This is before I really got into Metal Gear. Because I got into Metal Gear late. I mean, I'd play some of the games, but like I didn't super get into it. But he showed me the soundtrack on his car on the way home, and I was like, I need to buy this game just for the soundtrack. I was like,
This game could be like a game about raising puppies and
Like-
feeding them, but if it's got this soundtrack, oh
it's
man.
like, I don't care. It's like this game, like anything with this soundtrack has to be amazing. And if you guys like haven't heard it, like, so good.
Yeah.
But next up we have F-Zero GX.
So this is number 3,
This is number
F-Zero
3.
GX?
F-Zero GX.
Nice.
That has one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. It's all like butt rock. It's all like future space science sounds. I'm like, yeah.
It has to be for like the high-speed, futuristic super racing.
It's so
So,
good. And
awesome.
specifically, each character has a theme
Oh, okay.
that you would never know. You have like there's a thing on the menu called profiles, and like each character has a theme that if you click on a profile, they'll go. And Captain Falcon's is super hype. Like they're
I
all
believe
and they're all like Biorex is like thrash metal, and you
That's
got
awesome.
like the Skull, which is old like jazz. And it's like all the characters have like their own theme, and it's just super hype.
That's amazing.
Then number 3, I have Guilty Gear Xrd, the new one.
Xrd, okay.
I never played X2, so I don't know, but Brian got me into Xrd, and I was like, this game's soundtrack is amazing, kind of for the same reason GX is amazing.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I'll listen to like Heavy Day. Like, Heavy Day. It's like, it's just amazing. And then number 1, I cheated and put Brutal Legend.
Okay.
Because it's
I'll
all,
give it to you. I'll let you get away with that.
because it's a video game, it has a soundtrack.
It sure is. That's funny.
It's all just metal songs, and I love old heavy metal. Me and Brian love metal.
Yeah, we do.
So it's all just like, dude, I wish that game was good.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's like I wish that game was better than it is. Like I'll still
Sure.
play it, but it's like,
You know what? I the way I kind of look at it is I go, the game could have been way worse than it is.
okay, fair
with
enough.
all of those licensed soundtracks and everything.
Yeah,
So you get a game where you get to play as Jack Black with a giant axe in a world full of metal.
axes.
Axes.
Okay.
Cool. So that was our quick list for this week. Pretty excellent.
Quick.
All right. So now we are going to go into our mini boss segment for this week. We are going to be discussing our top female heroes in video games.
Ooh, in video games?
Or whatever.
I put all sorts of media.
Oh, did you? I only put games, so that's okay.
Okay, well, cool. Because I've only got 2 video game characters. The rest are from movies. And
okay, that's fine.
And anime. But anyway,
sweet.
I'll let you go first, Brian.
All right, sure. I put Elena Fisher from the Uncharted series.
Okay.
She is amazing. She's one of my favorite game characters of all time because
really cool.
She is just as like quick as Drake, but in a different way, I guess. She's like a perfect counterbalance to his constant comedy.
Chaos.
Yeah, and but she's still really funny, but she's also totally BA. She's just being like pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa, and she's a really good companion to have in a game. So
I can totally agree with that.
I like her a lot. That's it for that one.
Cool. All right. Moving on. Number 5. You've never seen Black Lagoon. I talked about it last podcast, but it's one of my favorite anime.
Okay.
Maze. Revy from Black Lagoon. 2 Hands Revy.
Okay.
She's just like this cool just chick who doesn't take anything from no one, and she just has 2 guns and she shoots people a lot, and it's really cool. It's just that's it.
That's
it's
awesome.
Cool.
All right.
It's just awesome. She has like a cool travel tattoo. She's got like purple hair. It's like, yeah, I like this.
All right. Cool.
All right. What's number 4 for you, man?
Let's see. I went the very, I guess you could call this like the cliche choice, but my number 4 is Lara Croft.
Okay.
She was awesome when the games first released on the PlayStation because everybody was like, man, she's great. She's really cool. She's totally tough, and she's shooting up dinosaurs and grizzly bears. And then the games just started to deteriorate in quality, and people just stopped caring. And then when Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix teamed together to do that the reboot, and I played that for the first time on the PlayStation 4. I didn't play it on the last gen consoles. It was awesome. I was like, whoa, dude, good on you guys for totally breathing new life into a franchise that was all but dead. And then even more so, I don't know if you've played it yet. I think I might have showed it to you, but that game Lara Croft Go on cell phones.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of cell phone games at all, but Lara Croft Go is amazing. It's like a really good puzzle game, and the graphic style and art is super good. So
I remember you were playing that while I came over one day, and I heard like the treasure git sound, and I was like, what are you playing, dude? Like immediately I was like, what is that? Like everything just put together is like, I know where that's from. That's awesome. It's just amazing.
That's right, because they use the old school treasure
sound effects
noise. Yeah. Cool. All right, what's your number 4?
Number 4 for me is the bride from Kill Bill.
Yeah.
I was like,
you know what? I'm gonna put her on my list.
No,
she's on my list too.
Uma Thurman. This is great. She has a real name, but if you haven't seen the movies, it's kind of a spoiler, so I'll just say the bride, because that's what she's called from this movie. She's just a cool chick with a katana, and I'm like, that's just a video game right there.
Yeah.
It's like
the Crazy 88 fight is straight out of like a Japanese slasher game.
That's a segment we can do. We can do best fight scenes in media.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
So, like Crazy 88. Dude, that's like...
I already know what my number 1 is.
What is it, Crazy 88?
No.
Oh, okay. I can think
but we'll save it.
Okay, but anyway, we've already done boss fights, but that's like different. But yeah, like, dude...
No, she's awesome.
She's amazing.
Those movies, if you have a weak stomach, you might not like those movies. Or if you have sensitivity to vulgarity, you might not like those movies.
Yeah.
But if you can look past that stuff, those movies are really well done.
If you like anime, that movie's just an anime.
It's just a live action.
It's just
anime.
like, okay, because it like Quentin Tarantino says it's super inspired by anime.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
and there's even an anime section in the actual movie in and of itself.
Dude, I would totally watch that anime.
Would you?
If that was a real thing
that art style creeps me out. Like their faces when they smile and stuff in that movie, or in that anime sequence, is really really unnerving.
I'm trying to think, because there's another anime that has that styling, and it's really interesting, but it's like I think it's supposed to be disturbing. But anyway, so
cool.
You're up 3.
Okay.
You're what?
Go ahead.
You're up 3. Okay.
All right. So my number 3 is Tifa Lockhart.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII. It's funny, as a kid, when I was young, I have a friend who hates Ares.
Or Aerith.
Or Aerith, whatever. And when I was a kid, I was like, I was all team Aerith. I was like, I'm not a fan of Tifa. I like Aerith because she's awesome, and the game obviously wants
you to like
me
her.
to like her for Cloud. And then, but as I got older, I started to appreciate, like when I'm going back through the game, I started to appreciate all of the little self-sacrifices and how well Tifa kept it together, even amongst like the awkwardness of Ares and Cloud flirting and stuff.
Yeah.
She's so awesome, man.
Dude, I love Tifa.
She's so freaking sweet. And when I found out that you could do that date sequence with her, I was like, from the beginning of that playthrough, I was like, there is no way I am going on a date with anyone else but Tifa.
I did the exact same thing. On my playthrough right now, I was like, there's an exploit you can do where in Shinra building, when you're both captured, you can like hit yeah, we'll get out of here. Yeah, we'll get out of here. Yeah, we'll get out of like a billion times. It just max out her like affection level like right then and there.
That's awesome.
So like that's what I did.
But yeah, she's super studly. She's a total beast when she's fighting. But yeah, did you know, fun fact before we move on, you can manipulate the game to go on a date with Barrett?
Yeah, there's an achievement for it in the or
Is
trophy
there?
for it. Yeah, and I was like, next playthrough, I'm totally doing that. Like what you have to do is you have to like be like negative with every girl and like max out Barrett's like from the get go. Like it's super hard to do, but you can do it. And I think you can date Yuffie too, is the other one.
Yeah, you can. Hers is a little difficult.
It's harder too.
It's the easiest to get. Actually, from easiest to hardest, it goes Ares, Tifa, Yuffie, and then Barrett.
Yeah.
Ares is like, if you didn't even know there was any type of like affection or affinity level for the characters in the game's automatically just gonna shove you in a date with Ares.
Yeah, or Tifa, depending on your choices.
Yeah,
first because they're pretty close, and if you make like I don't know,
you still have to work a little harder to get Tifa though.
I'm not a huge fan of Ares.
I'm not either. She's fine. She's fine.
She's just kind of shoved down your throat.
That's the big beef I have with her. However, when I was a kid and that whole thing went down, that was probably the first time I ever cried at a video game.
Yeah, I had that ruined for me way before I even played Final Fantasy. I was like, Ares dies. I don't know this character.
I played it when the game was brand new,
Yeah.
because I'm an old fart. You played it when the game is almost 20 years old, so.
Yeah, like me.
The game came out 2 years after you were born. Gross. Gosh, you're so young. All right, cool. All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3, Sarah Connor.
Yeah, I'm gonna put her on my list too.
Man, you're just hijacking all of my.
I've got a list of 7 now.
So, I got a fun fact about Terminator.
Okay.
My sister's name is Sarah, and my name's Connor, and my first name's John. So
Your sister's name is
Sarah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we have like the Sarah Chronicles at my house.
Yeah, you
Sarah,
do.
Sarah Connor. And I was like, aha, and it's like, and my first and second name or middle name's John Connor. So I was like, I was just born to like Terminator.
Yeah. If you didn't like Terminator, dude, people would be so sad for you.
Hate me.
You're like, yeah, my name's John Connor, but I thought those movies were pretty crap.
Yeah, I was
like, dude, you don't deserve that name. Change
like-
your name to Charles or something.
Charles Connor. Like, ugh. That's a gross name.
We apologize to any of our fans whose names are Charles or
my
Connor.
my dad's middle name's Charles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So we're just
sorry, Dad.
it's the circle
Anyway.
of life. All right, cool. So yeah, what do
yeah,
you like
so
about Sarah Connor?
Sarah Connor, dude, it's like maybe not Terminator 1 Sarah Connor because she's just kind of like the oh no, she's still cool, but like Terminator 2 where she's like, all right, I'm really tired of all these robots,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna raise my son from an early age to lead this resistance, and she's just like, I think the part that stands out to me in the end is where. Spoilers for this movie that's older than I am. The part of end of T2 where there you get the T1000 there, and she's Sarah Connor shoves up behind with a shotgun, and she's a broken arm. She goes like cocks with one arm. And I was like, yeah, like I love that.
Yeah, she's a beast, man. You know what?
Dude.
I absolutely love Sarah Connor from Terminator 1
Okay.
because you get to see the human side of her, I guess.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term. She's just innocent and just living her life like a normal person, and that whole thing gets dropped in her lap, and she actually handles it a lot better than most people would, being like, oh yeah, by the way, you have to give birth to the guy who's going to save all of humanity.
Oh.
So don't mess up. She's like, what? Wait, what? Also, Arnold Schwarzenegger wants to hurt you. She's like, who's that?
Don't worry about it. He's a governor.
And but yeah, that's a solid choice, man.
Okay.
I love Sarah Connor too.
Dude, that's a good movie.
We should watch that.
We should.
Okay, for number 2, I put Ellie from The Last of Us.
You mean my dog?
Yes.
My dog's name's Ellie. But
yes,
anyway.
but you named Ellie after Ellie.
Yeah.
But Ellie is so dope. She's seriously so awesome, and that whole sequence where you get to play as her, and she's like, she takes everything into her own hands, and she's like taking care of Joel, and she's hunting for deer, and she's like dealing with other survivors. She's awesome. She's one of the best characters that has ever, in my opinion, one of the best characters that's ever been in a game. And the girl who does her voice, Ashley, oh my gosh,
Judd?
No. Yeah, she's like, oh, Joel.
Joel. Well, I mean, it fits with, I don't know. It fits in universe, kind of.
Well,
anyway.
yeah, he's from Texas. But no, I forget her last name, but the gal who does her voice is awesome. She does just such a good job of voicing Ellie and making her a believable and lovable character.
But yeah, I can totally agree with that. Anyway, so my number 2 is the boss from Metal Gear Solid 3. You don't know who that is. That's okay.
I never played Metal Gear Solid 3, man. I'm sorry.
I'll show you who she is. She's like, she's the woman who trained Big Boss how to be Big Boss.
Oh,
so
snap.
She's
so
like,
she's a beast then, is what you're saying.
She's just amazing. And I already talked about her as as one of the best boss fights ever. But like as a character, like she extends past Metal Gear Solid 3, like into Portable Ops, Peace Walker, and Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay.
But like as just an idea, like but she's just an amazing character to begin with, and I can't really go into it because you've never played the game, and I don't want to spoil it for you.
Sure.
She's really cool. She's kind of like Sarah Connor, but not really. That's a terrible analogy. But
okay.
Anyway, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's enough.
Yeah, you'll have to.
The boss. I'll show her kind of stuff she does. Like she's just she's just a hero. Like that's a good way to put it. Like through and through to the end. She's just a patriot and a hero.
That's awesome.
But anyway, so what's your number 1, man? Or number 2? Sorry.
No, my number 2 was Ellie.
Oh, hey, what's your number 1, man?
Yeah. Number 1 for me is Jill Valentine. She is my all-time favorite female video game character ever.
Gotcha.
She's a beast. She's amazing. I love her outfit in the first game.
Shoulder pads.
She's not. It makes her look awesome, but it doesn't like overly sexualize her or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's. I don't know. I love all iterations of Jill though. Like when you play as her in Resident Evil 3, and she's more just like stressed out. She's not like in like a formal, with her tactical team and everything. She's just like in the city, and she's awesome. Plus, she single-handedly deals with Nemesis throughout an entire game, so that just makes her instantly awesome. But yeah, I don't like the way they portrayed her in the terrible movies.
Yeah.
But
I haven't even seen those.
Be glad.
I've been told that like, yeah, you don't want to do that.
No, if they had named that movie Zombie Attack, then it might not be a bad movie, but the fact that they slapped the Resident Evil name on a movie that has very little to do with the actual Resident Evil story and canon, like, that's what bothers me the most, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just like, so it's Resident Evil, but we're going to add a completely brand new character as the main character, and she has superpowers.
Gross.
It's like, wait, what?
Whoa.
It's like, yeah, that is literally the Resident Evil movies. It's like, but what about like Chris and Jill? And it's like, no, her name's Alice, and she can basically like fly and do superhero stuff. It's like, what? Why?
I heard the first movie was pretty alright.
The first movie, if I had to pick one, is the least terrible.
Okay, because I remember that's where the laser stuff came from for RE4.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the laser segment was actually pretty sweet for the time. If you watch it now, the CG and stuff is pretty janky, but it's all right.
All right,
Roll with the times. So what's your number 1, man?
Number 1, it's the classic pick, Samus Aran.
Okay. I knew you were going to pick that, so I didn't put her on my list.
Yeah, I knew you were going to pick Jill, so I didn't put her on my list. So, yeah.
You know what? I put Samus on my list, too. My list is at 8 now.
All right. But Samus is just like, dude, back when, like, dude, props to Nintendo for being super progressive.
Yeah,
back in, like,
for sure.
The 80s when there was, like, Ellen Ripley, who actually is... I actually almost put her on my list. She's an honorable mention. Ellen Ripley from Alien.
To be perfectly honest, if I had realized that we were doing not just video game characters, Ellen Ripley would have gone on my list.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yes, she can.
It's okay. It made a.
She's not on my list, so she can go on your expanded
Ellen's on my
list
list now.
All right, cool.
I have 9 now.
But
also Ellen Ripley. I
Yeah.
just like Ellen the comedian. She's on my list as well.
okay.
So that's 10. She's a hero as well.
All right. I'm sure she's been in some kind of movie somewhere.
She has. She was an actress before.
She was?
Like forever ago. Yeah, she was in a bunch of movies.
Cool. But Samus actually was based on Ellen Ripley and
Oh, that's
Alien.
awesome.
So that's why like a lot of like accents kind of carry over, especially in like the Prime series. Like it's really obvious because that's why Ridley is named Ridley.
Yeah. Because Ridley Scott.
Because Ridley Scott. It's just like Samus is cool.
She is.
I have more about Samus later on the news segment, actually.
Cool.
Which I think you'll find. It's a little snippet, but I think you'll find it cool.
All right.
But yeah, dude, just Samus is awesome. And unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever see a movie with her or a good movie with her. And I like to keep it that way.
So that was our mini boss segment. So we are going to go straight into our final boss segment. I wish that we could license that song. Climactic battle, baby.
Yeah.
So we are going into the final boss segment, and this week, Connor and I were talking about what is the list of the top 10 definitive games that a person has to play if they've never played games before.
Yeah.
So what would be the 10 games to best introduce a newbie into the world of gaming?
Into just all genres, and like I try to pick like the ones that are most user friendly and just like to spread out into it.
I just tried to pick games that blew my mind growing up and playing games. Yeah. Games that are going to make people go, "Whoa, okay, that's cool. Wow, that's awesome." So we'll see how much our lists contrast.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have some carryover. I know we have at least one or two.
Yeah.
I think we'll have two that carry over, and I think I know what.
I think we might have a couple, to be honest. So why don't you go ahead and I didn't put them in any particular order because it was way too hard for me.
Okay.
To put them in order. So let's just throw them out. Did you put them in order?
I did put them in order. Actually.
Oh, you did? Okay.
You just want to go first and do all yours in once, and then I'll do mine. Because mine actually has like a ascending list of kind of like of how much you should play this game. Like if like a number one is like for me is like if you played no other game, you need to play this game.
I got you.
So
well, how about you go while I put these in order?
Okay. All right. So all right. So at the bottom I have Street Fighter 2, which I think is the first one that ours will kind of carry over. So I never played Street Fighter as a kid, but like I'd try to pick one game from each genre that would get everyone into like fighting games, and I figured like Street Fighter 2 still's fun. Like it's still tournament worthy, but it's like its own thing, and like it'd still be fun to play Street Fighter 2. But if no one had ever played like a fighting game, I'd just show them Street Fighter 2, and I think that'd be interesting. After that, Mario Kart 64, like that's a perfect game to get someone who's never played a game into gaming to play, like because it's easy. Like, hey, hit the A button to go, hit the left trigger to hit the Z button to. I put 64 as mine because like 64 still holds up. But like hit the Z button to shoot the shells, and there you go. It's easy. It's easy for little kids to play. It's just a fun game overall. And then next up, I have FF7. I never played FF7 as a kid, as you guys know, but I would totally suggest it to someone who has never played RPG before because it's relatively user-friendly, actually, because a lot of people hear about RPGs and they it's kind of a daunting thing. It was for me, at least, because like I know there's a whole bunch of intricacies in it, but FF7 does a good job of just weaning you into it, or waning you into it. I forget the phrase. But yeah, but kind of getting you ready for things. It has like, and once you get out of Midgard, like a whole bunch of possibilities open up. With, like, material.
Absolutely.
Even before you get out, you can just, if I had to kind of look up a guide because I didn't want to spend hours figuring out what materia did. So, but like that game would be perfect for someone who's never played an RPG before.
Sure.
Next up, I picked RE4 as like an entrance into the survival horror genre, because that game is pretty tight. It controls super tight. It's super. It has all the elements of a Resident Evil game, but like with like kind of like the modern conveniences of like modern games. Because I would tell someone to go play RE2, but that game is fairly hard by today's standards, or it'd just be kind of annoying. But RE4 has like all like you have like a keyam slot. Like I think it would just be good for someone who's never played like a
absolutely
like a horror game. And then next up, I put Mega Man X for like kind of like a shoot 'em up kind of game.
Okay. So what number is this?
6.
6. Okay,
number
6.
That. Mega Man X at number 6. Because dude, that game's awesome.
Yeah,
the game holds up super well.
Still to this day, it's still one of the best playing games on the Super Nintendo, or just in general, really.
And that would get someone used to like side scrollers, I guess.
Yeah, the side scroller shooters.
It's just a fun game to play for someone who's never played a video game. There's not much more I can say about that, actually. It's kind of self-explanatory. Next up, I have Metal Gear Solid 1. I was going to do 3, but 3 has a whole bunch of stuff in it that's not very user-friendly.
Sure. No, Metal Gear Solid 1, I would agree with that.
Because you've actually played that one. Yeah. So, like, you can totally agree. Like,
I beat the first 2.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 1, and if you didn't want to deal with the PS1 graphics, they do have a remake on the GameCube, and they're making an Unreal 4 engine.
I saw a video of that. It looks
Shadow Moses.
Sweet, man. Yeah. It looks really good.
So good. I can't wait for that to not come out.
Can't wait for that to get shut down by Konami.
Yeah, or Konami just might not care. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 1, like, dude, that game's awesome. Like, in terms of that would get someone into like storytelling. Well, FF7 would too, but like Metal Gear Solid 1 has a great story.
Yeah.
And if that movie ever comes out, hope it does. It never will.
All right. What's your number 4?
4, Super Metroid. Kind of for it's kind of like Mega Man X, but for a different reason. Like, that's just a good like exploratory game.
Absolutely. It's got that side scroller shooter element to it, but it's more about exploration and puzzle solving and stuff. So
yeah, it's so good. Super Metroid. Or I kind of put like a slash like Metroid Prime, because those are kind of the same games but for different angles.
Just different points of view.
Yeah. Because like I played Metroid Prime first, and I was like, oh, I need to play the old ones. And Super Metroid's like, oh, dude, this game's awesome. And that was number 4. Number 3, I put Earthbound.
Okay. I never played Earthbound.
Yeah, it's okay.
I have a friend. Her name's Annie. She has an original copy of Earthbound on the Super Nintendo.
I want one.
I told her we're going to have her on the podcast at some point in time, and we are going to do a segment called Why Brian Deserves Annie's Copy of Earthbound on Super Nintendo.
Oh, dude, I can't.
And her and I are just going to debate.
Dude, I want that copy of Earthbound too, so I will also join that debate. But like, Earthbound is even more user-friendly than Final Fantasy VII. So if I'll suggest to people who played FF7 are like, it's too hard, I didn't like it. Dude, Earthbound's super streamlined, and plus like the settings super different from any other RPG out there, or any game really. It's modern times. You take control of Ness, a 13-year-old boy, with psychic powers, and you're like, I'm just gonna give my bat and hit stuff. Like but the story's super good.
Save the world.
Music's like Earthbound's good. I'll suggest that to anybody, and it's on the Virtual Console if you've never played it. I super suggest that to anyone who never
hasn't played it before.
Hasn't played it before. I would suggest Mother 3 because that's a tighter controlling game, but there's no legal way to get that game yet.
Sure.
So don't break the law, kids.
What's your number 2?
Number 2, Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Specifically the remaster for 3DS.
Okay, yeah, I agree. The remaster for the 3DS is the best playing version of it.
It's best playing, plus there's a hint system for if you've never played the game before. I never used it because I beat the game a billion times, but like...
I didn't realize that. That's awesome.
There's like beside Link's house and then Temple of Time, there's like a whole thing where if you're like, I don't know where to go, you can just pop in and be like, you should go to Death Mountain and talk to the girl. But it's like, if you have a 3DS... and you've never played Ocarina of Time and you like Zelda, I would recommend that game.
Sure.
Super hard. Because it's like that. It just has a whole bunch of Nintendo's good with the remasters about making them like kind of bring them into a new era.
Sure.
So
making sure they're complete.
Making sure they're complete, and they always like to add a little bit extra stuff to it. So there's a couple. I think there's. What there is.
I would expect no less with a remaster.
Yeah, and plus you get Master's Quest too. If you beat that, you have to beat the game first. But yeah, that's just a fun game.
Yeah,
to play. But yeah.
And number 1.
Number 1 if you had never ever played a video game before and you were only gonna play one, Super Mario World.
Okay.
Like that game's easy to play, but has enough challenge later in the games. Later in the worlds. It's got like enough. I'm gonna say tech skill, but like you have to learn to control Mario well in that game. But like Mario, I'm repeating myself, but like if you've never played a video game before, Mario World is for you.
Yeah.
Or you want to get someone into it. Like that game is amazing. That game is 10 out of 10. And like I don't talk about it a lot because it's kind of self-explanatory, but like Mario World is an amazing game.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
So, if you've never played it, it's on everywhere, I believe. I think it's on Virtual Console. I'm sure you can find a copy somewhere.
Yeah. They actually don't sell for too high, like the actual SNES cartridges. By the way, Bashing Buttons podcast, we say SNES and NES over here as well too. It's not just a UK thing.
I mean, I bounce between Super NES and NES.
I'll say SNES. I'll say NES.
It depends.
What are you playing? Playing the SNES.
The SNES. What's that?
It's my Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Duh.
For the low price of how much was it in the 90s? I don't even know.
I think it was $200.
In 90s bucks?
Yeah,
okay.
$290, which is like $1,000 now.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go into my list now. So number 10, I put Donkey Kong Country.
Okay.
That game is also user friendly. It controls well, but it's kind of the whole package. It's got great music, great gameplay, great graphics, and you can do 2-player cooperative at the same time. So if you want to play with somebody who knows what they're doing, they can help you out at the same time. So I think that's a really good game for someone to play if they've never played games.
It's a genius system.
Yeah, Super Nintendo is just a master. It should have been called the Master System, really. Sorry, Sega.
Sega.
Yep.
Anyway.
Number 9, I put Resident Evil 4 for the same reasons you did, because it doesn't have a super good story, but it's got a good enough story to where you get invested in what's going on.
Yeah.
But it plays really well. It's got a great atmosphere. It feels good to control Leon, and the combat's great, and the weapons feel good to fire, and it's a genuinely creepy experience, but it also isn't just a straight horror game, and it's not just a straight action game. It's like a perfect blend of the two. I think that's why it's regarded so highly.
It also teaches you resource management.
That is true as well,
which is
because
very
of all the
important
herbs and all that stuff.
It's very important in mini games.
Number 8, I put Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo. That game is a flawless RPG.
Okay.
It is flawless.
Totally agree.
All the characters in that game are so lovable and memorable. The environments are amazing. The combat is very unique. Using the attacks where it's like the double attacks.
Dual text,
yeah, and even the triple text and stuff. It's just such a cool element, because you can't do that in Final Fantasy games. Well, I mean, maybe there is, but like at least the Final Fantasy games of that era, you couldn't do stuff like that. And having all 3 of your characters attack at once to do like massive damage was just such a cool idea.
Massive damage.
But the storyline is great. The time traveling element in it isn't like cheesy and stupid. Frog is amazing.
Dude, Frog's the best character in that
Frog
game.
is so cool. I love Chrono a lot. He's such a good main protagonist, but Frog is a very, very legendary character, I guess.
I like Magus too, because he's just Vegeta.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Akira Toriyama did all the art for that game, so you'll see some DBZ characters in
Yeah.
there.
All right, number 7. I put Final Fantasy 7. I didn't even mean to do that, but that's where it's at.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really say more than what you said.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 is amazing. It's just a incredible story. The characters are memorable and lovable. It gets you emotionally invested on what's going on. The materia system is top notch.
So good.
It's still to this day my favorite system for managing skills and stuff. I think Final Fantasy X also has an amazing the sphere grid is super good.
Okay.
But Final Fantasy VII still beats that out. Final Fantasy VII is just a franchise, or not a franchise. It is a game that just will forever be in my heart until the day I die, and I'll recommend it to anybody who's a gamer or not. Number 6, I put Mario Kart 64. What else can you say about Mario Kart 64 other than it doesn't matter who you are. You can put a controller in someone's hand and be like, A is go, that turns go.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. And then you guys just have a blast for forever and ever. Amen. So there's just nothing wrong with the Mario Kart 64 experience.
I'm going to take a hardline stance and say that Mario Kart 64 is the best party game ever.
Okay. Yeah. No.
I don't think very many people will argue with me. 'Cause it's just good.
I will. I may have one that might outdo it, maybe, but we'll see.
Okay.
Anyway, so number 5, I put The Last of Us.
Okay.
If you really want to see what games are capable of, and you really want to see how much a game can get you emotionally invested and totally envelop you in a story, and not just be like pew 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 pew, oh stomp on that turtle,
Shoot the bads.
yeah, shoot the bad guys until you get points. Yeah, The Last of Us is a masterpiece in storytelling, and the game plays really, really well. Actually, the Fine Brothers did their React Gaming thing, and it was like a 20 episode long deal. They had the same like 10 kids play all the way through The Last of Us, and I watched it all, and it was awesome watching these kids, these younger kids who don't appreciate nothing,
Stupid millennials.
go through this game, and their attitudes completely change. Like in the beginning, they're just like, "What's happening? What is this? Who is this guy? Blah blah, whatever. Pew pew. Oh, I killed that dude. Oh, it was awesome." And by the last episode, they're like all of them were like almost in tears, and everybody was just like in self-reflection. And afterwards, they were like, "Hey, how do you feel about the game?" They were like, "I don't even know what to say right now." Like, that's the kind of impact that game has on people. So it's an emotional experience that all should try. Number 4, I had Super Mario 64.
Okay.
Amazing first foray into 3D action platformers, I guess, for that time. It's just a masterpiece. I mean, there were other 3D platformers in that era.
Bubsy 3D.
Yeah, but we don't talk about those.
We don't talk about Bubsy.
Mario 64 was proof that type of game is not only valid but amazing. It could be an incredible experience.
I almost put that in place of Mario World.
Gotcha. There's so much variety in that game. There's so much variety. There's all the different worlds and levels and places to go and things you have to do to get the stars. There's just so much replayability in that game. Okay, number 3, I put Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Turbo. Okay.
Well, the reason I put Street Fighter 2 Turbo is because it's basically just Street Fighter 2, but it gives you access to the 4 boss characters.
Okay.
So it's just Street Fighter 2 with more characters, more costume colors, and you have the ability to make the gameplay faster.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if you know, in the original Street Fighter 2, the game is a little floaty. It's a little slow moving.
Okay.
In Street Fighter 2 Turbo, you can actually change the game speed to where it's a lot more fast, a lot quicker paced, and it actually makes it a little more competitive.
Okay.
So it's just overall the best version of Street Fighter 2. I mean, they did Super Street Fighter 2 with like T-Hawk and Fei Long and Cammy and DJ, but I don't like any of those characters except for Cammy.
Sorry.
Until I finish.
Sorry.
Cammy's amazing.
I like DJ a little bit.
But the other characters I'm not a fan of. Anyway, that's a great game that you can pick up with anybody and just be like, pick somebody and mash buttons, and you're gonna have a good time. It's one of those games where you can either do that or you can take the time to really get into it and learn some really deep gameplay mechanics. Number 2, I put GoldenEye, and this is the game that I was saying could be widely considered the best party game ever.
Okay.
It's hard. Because there's good arguments for both Mario Kart 64 and GoldenEye. Because I've been at parties where those 2 games were the only games that were played for like 6 straight hours,
Absolutely.
7 straight hours. So they both bring an incredible party element to them, to where you're chilling with your buddies and you're having a good time, and you're either A, shooting each other and yelling at each other, or B, you're playing GoldenEye. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Wah, wah. Anyway. All right. And so number 1, I put Super Mario World. That game is just perfect. It's perfect. You can blast through that game without taking a single like shortcut, or you can blast through that game without doing any of the side levels. There is a way to just very minimalistically just jump over everything and get to the ending of the game if you're not like a super good Mario player. But there is a super deep world with tons of stuff that you can go do and explore, and secrets galore. Man, the unlocking or finding a secret on your own in that game for the first time without anybody telling you was one of the most, I mean, several times that happened to me was just such huge moments of triumph for me as a gamer. The game is brilliant, and the fact that you can play it 2-player, I mean, you switch off. If Mario dies, then Luigi's up, and vice versa. So, yeah, that is a game that I would recommend to anyone to play.
Absolutely. Did you ever get the Secret World above in Donut Plains above the haunted house?
Yeah, you can't 100% that game. You can 97 star that game, or 98 star, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that game is brilliant, and I recommend it to anyone. Anyway, so that's the end of our final boss segment, and we're gonna kind of quickly mosey on into our news segment. So let's make it happen.
All right, so news. First up, we got. Remember I was talking about Battalion 1944?
Yes, the World War II shooter.
That has reached its funding.
Perfect. I didn't doubt it.
There's not much more to that, but I just wanted to let you know because I'm really excited for that game.
Yeah, I'm pumped now. Get to play a next-gen World War II game. I'm
good.
stoked.
I think it uses Unreal 4.
I'm coming for you, Hitler.
So, the last week, Justice Scalia passed away. And this is important to video gaming because in 2011, he defended video games in the Brown versus Entertainment Merchants case, saying, because they were trying to say that video games are too violent, and he actually defended them. So
that's
that
awesome.
happened this week. And
well, that's too bad that he passed.
Rest in peace, Scalia.
Yeah.
Thank you for defending our childhoods.
Yeah, for sure.
So you'll like this. Rise of the Tomb Raider wins the Writing Award, defeating Witcher 3, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and Pillars of Eternity.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's pretty awesome. Street Fighter 5 came out.
Yes, it did.
Cool. I told next up, I've told Brian this earlier in the week because I couldn't contain it, but Lupe Fiasco beat Daigo, like world champion Daigo, in Street Fighter 5, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
That's awesome.
I was like, "Oh, dude, that's the hardest underdog ever."
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's amazing, and like I remember reading Twitter feeds where like pro players like, "Dude, do you need help like sparring?" He's like, "No, I got a crew. Like, we're good." And I was like, okay.
That's awesome.
And then, next up we have Destiny's making toys.
All right. Does anybody really want a Guardian toy?
But they're in the Mega Bloks Destiny set. So I was like, nope.
That's crazy.
No Mega Bloks. If it was a Lego, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, nobody plays with Mega Bloks.
Mega Bloks are gross. Anyway. So, PS4 has announced that their VR headset may be coming as soon as this fall.
Ooh,
so
shiny.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And I might save up or like donate a kidney or something.
If it's $3.99, I'll save up and get one.
Yeah.
If it's anything more than that, I won't.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll stick true to their word because that'll be awesome.
Is that what they were saying? They were gonna release? All they said is they were going to release it at a new console price. They did not.
So $3.99 probably.
It could be anywhere from $3.99 to $4.99.
Yeah. But yeah, it's coming this fall, and we'll see. It gets closer.
Sure.
Next up, we have so Norman Reedus and Kojima have had a meeting about Kojima Productions, and this is interesting. They didn't say what it's about, but they just kind of hung out and they talked about something.
Talked about some stuff.
So
that's exciting.
Also, part of Kojima Cast, we have he mentioned that he wants his new game to have enough of an impact where it gets an anime, manga, and toys. So he's working on something big.
I'm ready, man.
So, and that kind of tells me it's going to be more kid-friendly, because if he wants toys made out of it. Well, sure. I mean, who knows? I mean,
I was going to say, they make like sort of the Berserk toys.
Yeah, they get Scorpion action figures, so it's like, whatever. But yeah, that'd be awesome. So, Fallout 3 is no longer banned in Germany.
Okay.
They reviewed their standards, because Germany's pretty strict about violence and drug use and stuff in games, and Fallout 3 has both of those things. So Fallout 4 is getting 3 big DLC packs. they've announced.
Yeah, I read up on those. They look legit, man.
For those of you who have not heard, there's the Automaton pack, which allows you to build your own robot companions, and they are adding Robo Brains back into the game, which is awesome because those are like my favorite robots from Fallout 3. They're adding the Wasteland Workshop, which is going to add a whole bunch of new structures you can build in your settlements. And you can capture creatures and make them fight to the death.
Nice.
So you can capture Deathclaw and be like, I wonder if I can put 30 raiders against this Deathclaw and see what happens. Deathclaw's going to win. But yeah. And then they have Far Harbor, which was, what was the pack in Far Cry 3? Was it point something?
I don't remember. I never got the DLC in Fallout 3.
Other than that, the last thing I'm going to end on is that there was an interview with Ronda Rousey this week who said that she would love to play Samus in a movie.
I would be perfectly okay with that.
Which is fine, because that's the kind of person you need.
Absolutely.
So if they were going to make a Metroid movie, that's the ideal role. Like,
totally fine
that's
with
perfect.
Samus.
Yeah. Other than that, that's it.
Awesome, man. Cool. So that's our news segment for the week.
Yeah.
So we're going to go right into our free DLC segment, which today I've got some trivia questions for Connor.
Okay. I'm excited because I don't know anything about what these are.
Yeah, it's very exciting. All right. So up first, number 1. What's the name of the original game that Super Mario Bros. 2 used the engine from?
Doki Doki Panic.
All right. Good job. Question number 2. What is the North American name for Final Fantasy VI?
Final Fantasy 3.
Okay. Good job. Number 3. What is Guile from Street Fighter's last name?
Oh, no. It's something super American, isn't it?
Take a guess.
I don't even know. I know Ken's is Masters, and it's not that.
Which is awesome.
And like I know Charlie's is Nash, but I can't remember Guile's.
All right. Trick question. Guile is his last name. His first name is William.
Oh. Bill Guile.
Bill Guile.
Bill Guile.
All right. Number 4. What is the name of the spin-off game starring Vincent from Final Fantasy VII?
Oh, Crisis Core. Final Fantasy. It's not Final
Nope.
Fantasy. It's not Crisis Core. What's it called then?
That's the game starring Zack from Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, no. Wait, hold on. I don't know.
It is Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII.
Dude, I knew it, and I was like, it's not Crisis Core.
All right. Number 4. Tell me the input to do any fatality from any Mortal Kombat game ever.
In Mortal Kombat X, I believe Aaron Black's fatality is you go to far side of the screen, it's back, forward, triangle.
Okay. Nice. I didn't think you were going to get that, to be honest. But good job. That's awesome. All right. Number 6. What is the second game in the Elder Scrolls series called?
Hammerfell. Elder Scrolls 2 Hammerfell. No! That's 3. That's the third one, because there's Arena, and then there's 2. You said the third game?
Second
game. So it would be Elder Scrolls 2 Hammerfell.
There's no Hammerfell.
I'm thinking of the metal band, aren't I?
Probably. Number 3 is Morrowind. Number 2 is Daggerfall.
That's what I'm thinking of Daggerfall.
Gotcha.
But, oh well.
All right. Number 7. At what point in Resident Evil 4 does Leon stop doing kicks to downed opponents and starts doing German suplexes?
Isn't it Castle?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got it. Don't know why that's...
Yeah, suplexes! Sorry.
Number 8. What is the blood code from the Genesis version of Mortal Kombat?
I would never know that.
It's ABACABB. Abacab. That's what we called it as kids.
Gotcha.
All right. Number 9. What food product does Barry refer to Jill as almost becoming in the first Resident Evil?
You're almost a Jill sandwich. Dude, Barry's my favorite Resident Evil character.
Yeah, he's awesome. All right.
I've got this.
And the 10th and final question. What is the Konami code?
Up, down, left, right, BA, start.
I'll give you one more try.
Up. Sorry, up, down, left, right, BA, start.
There you go.
Man,
all right.
That was not good.
Yay! Connor wins. You actually got the majority of those. I'm proud of you.
I told you, Brian was like, dude, I know you grew up as a Nintendo kid, but it's hard for me to come up with. I was like, dude, I know a lot about video games.
Well, no, I know that. I just didn't want to put really obscure stuff from consoles you didn't know. Like if I had put anything from Genesis, you probably wouldn't have known.
I might have known something.
But anyway, all right, cool. So that brings us to the end of episode 7. Yay.
Yeah.
We did a good job today,
We
Connor.
did a podcast.
We should pat ourselves on the back. Just not right now because it'll be loud.
We're
on the
two
microphone.
peas in a pod.
Cast.
Ah.
Nailed it. We're going off the air.
Anyway,
all right.
this is
So
our final episode.
really quick, I'm going to go ahead and do our plugs here. Be sure to venture over and listen to our friends over at MultiTap Podcast. Their links are in our descriptions below. Also, make sure to check out our friends at Flock of Geeks Gaming. They just released episode 7 recently. It's got some good stuff in it, so go check that out. Also, check out our friends Bashing Buttons podcast from the UK. Their podcast is a lot of fun to listen to. It's basically just two best friends chit-chatting about really good stuff.
It's like us.
Yeah, what?
But
Weird.
British.
But British. So it's better because it's British.
Yeah,
to be
they have
honest.
accents, not dirty Southern accents.
We're like, yuck. And they were like, oh, they're better than us. Anyway, so yeah, their links are in our descriptions below, and be sure to check out their full-on website. That's bashingbuttons.co.uk.
I also have one more plug for my buddy Kmall. He streams sometimes on Twitch.
Cool.
So if you guys, I think he's playing Bayonetta 2 right now, so you guys want to check that out.
Sweet.
I'll give Brian his link, but if you
We'll put that in the description below.
If you don't click the link, it's at KMA11 because Kmall is taken. But yeah, check him out. He's a cool guy. He's a bit more on the adult side, so kids beware.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Gotcha.
so if you guys want to send us questions or tell us we suck or tell us we're awesome or just send us fan mail or fan art or something, you can send it to dragonpowerpodcast@gmail.com. What was that, Brian?
That is dragonpowerpodcast@gmail.com.
Alrighty. And if you guys want to follow us on Facebook, it's Dragon Power Podcast. On Facebook, just type in the search bar and it should pop up.
It'll pop up, yeah.
Yeah. And if you guys want to follow us on Twitter, it's at Dragon Powercast, and we'll be posting all our episodes up there and other stuff that me and Brian are up to and whatnot. Other than that, I think that's it for today.
Sweet. We will see you all next Monday with episode 8. Until then, have a good week. Bye.
Bye. I was waiting. Bye.
Bye.